of a sudden I gotta uproot and move, and I still owe on my house, stuff like that, like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Right. No, I trust me, I understand, I mean, personally, if you'd ask me, I would definitely find out about that lawsuit, because they will have to, I mean, you know, it's like anything else, you never know how it's gonna go, but the I guess the facts are pretty clear, so, you know, that's kind of about, I mean, that's pretty much all I can tell you, unfortunately. I'd love to make it go away myself, but that's not gonna happen.
No, for sure, I mean, if it's in the soil and the water, then we're in it now.
Yeah. That's exactly
Well,
right.
right on, I appreciate it, and, I'll just make sure that I have someone there representing me at that meeting. Like I said, my dad's the one that's going to this stuff, and I'm watching over the phone as I work out of town, but yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it and see and play from there, I guess.
There you go, that's your best bet.
All right, well, I appreciate the time, thank you.
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
What was that feather's name?
Jerry Bristol. You coached his football.
I did,
Now,
Yeah, him and I used to play together.
really,
Yeah, he's my age.
Bristol,
Bristol or Crystal?
Bristol.
Bristol.
B. Bristol.
Mhm.
Yeah, he used to play football. He coached him when we were in like from 3rd grade to 7th grade.
They're just like yesterday.
That old timer just catching up with
It's already
I don't
done.
think he could hold it, he just really wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just
You could've kept that kind of lower.
Yep.
Dad, I texted you and Jake a picture
Okay.
of labs that will test for
Go
this
ahead and
stuff.
get
In case you don't.
Jim to
Thank
the
you.
question.
Thank you, I've actually got a
Go
lot
ahead and
of
open up the meeting.
let you know, but I didn't know who got
Yeah.
signed, so I was gonna find out first.
You texted to me.
Yeah.
Alright, ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Alright, Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Thursday, January 23rd, 2025, the 6th day of the January term. All were present at 9:02. Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Tuesday, January 21, 2025 meeting were read. Is that right? Yes, sir. Okay, I'm reading the Thursday minutes, okay. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to approve the minutes, Commissioner Larson seconded the motion carried. After review, Commissioner Bradley made a motion to accept the bid from Daniel Jones and Associates PC to do the 2023-2024 county audit for $21,500. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion carried with a roll call vote of yes. The commission, or the monthly collector's report and add-ons and abatements for the month of December 2024 were reviewed and signed. Constituents Amy Knoll, Jeff Knoll, Beth Wilson, and Troy Wilson attended the meeting to inquire about fly ash issue that was discussed at the previous commission meeting held on Tuesday, January 21st. Commissioner spoke to the group and told them that nothing was known as of now, that more research and testing needs to be done. The expenditures from the following offices were approved and paid: Coroner, Emergency Management, Road and Bridge, Senior Citizen Service Tax Fund, General Revenue. I'm not sure what that is, probably Sheriff's Office. Buildings and Grounds, Sheriff's Civil Fund, Prosecuting Attorney, Admin Handling Cost Fund, and Inmate Security Fund. At 9:30, Darren Huey and Bill Moose met with the commission to discuss Project Homeless in Clinton. Darren explained the goals of Project Homeless Clinton, that the need for a resource like this in the community is significant and growing. Darren stated that there are resources for the homeless population in the area, but there's no way to educate individuals about the resources without having a home base. He stated that they wanted to start a 14-day program to give individuals a place to stay, to help them get documents they need to obtain jobs, and get them back on their feet. He stated that it is meant to be a hands up, not a handout. So individuals who aren't interested in helping themselves and getting through the program will be released after 14 days. Those who are interested in trying could get their stay extended. Project Homeless Clinton would like for Henry County to donate the old jail on Washington Street to their program, as it is perfect setup for something like this, and they already have people who have volunteered to help them renovate it to meet their needs. The county no longer needs a space except for storage, as emergency management is moving to the courthouse. Commissioner Stone stated that the county needs to figure out a new storage space for the things that are stored there. Darren shared that they are in the process of becoming a 501c3, and then agreements can be made. All commissioners agree that the old jail would be a great location and the program is much needed within the county. Pat Nielsen attended the meeting and introduced herself to the new commissioners. Deputy Clerk Marriott shared research Clerk Watson had done on Division Road and plat books from 58 and 28 of Davis Township. At 10 o'clock, commissioners attended a conference call with Kurt Hellerman of Brightspeed. The state of Missouri participates in the federal government's Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Grant Program. The state will award grants to broadband providers to extend broadband access in more rural parts of the state. Brightspeed is one of the broadband providers competed for grant funding, and they have chosen Henry County as one of their primary counties to compete and extend broadband across Henry County under the BEAD. They must file a local coordination letter with the state. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to sign the coordination letter with the understanding that there is no financial obligation from Henry County. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion carried. Dennis Bowers, Road and Bridge Supervisor, attended the meeting to report that he had received a couple calls from Mike Kidweiler regarding Division Road in Davis Township. Mike wanted it to be known that he and his son, Mike Jr., who are landowners next to the land, do not support the opening of the portion of Division Road that has been in question. Dennis also shared that the Road and Bridge crew is currently working on cleaning bridges. The upcoming township official meeting was discussed. Deputy Clerk Marriott suggested waiting until after the April 8th, 2025 election, as it is possible there could be an influx of new board members and the meeting could be beneficial to them. Commissioners agreed. Clay Radford, Katie Media attended the meeting to see if the current fly ash issue in Davis Township was going to be discussed. Commissioners informed Clay that they did not have enough data or information to share. Commissioner Bradley received a call from Carl Daugherty regarding Senate Bill 190. Commissioner Bradley explained that the commission has not moved on adopting a tax freeze as there was a lot of administrative things to work through before it is adopted. Mark Harden, Emergency Management Director, provided copies that were provided to him from Bill Stewart of testing done on water in areas of Davis Township. Mark stated that he had a meeting set up with the Henry County Health Center this afternoon regarding fly ash water issue, and that he has already reached out to DNR as well as the EPA. Mark shared that he was not getting anywhere with the state agencies and that it was frustrating. He also recommended that Mark contact our local representatives in the area, Sandy Crawford, Jim Caberlo, and Rick Bratton. Mark shared that he would do that. At 11:28, Commissioner Washington made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Brown, second motion carried with a roll call vote of yes, yes, yes. On the front, Kelly was here, not me. I was at that MAC meeting.
When Rick Watson. Anything else? No, got anything in motion with that correction?
Make a motion.
I'll second. Motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes with the one correction. All in favor, say aye. 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 Motion carried.
Great River called about their
appreciation lunch.
So that's he came in.
Jesus.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna change up a little bit.
Jim, are they done doing all the work on the courthouse? Are they finished? Like putting that stuff in?
Yeah, I think we're pretty close to getting this all done, but we gotta get mine too.
Yeah, they're conditioning.
They're finished in here, I think.
Cause I know like we were talking in your office, I noticed that they hadn't finished the drywall, or they finished the drywall. but they
Well,
hadn't.
that was,
But
they installed them all, but yeah, there's some offices that do need to be repainted and cleaned up, so.
Was that part of the contract, or some, the county itself is doing that? Okay, okay.
You know, we remodeled the assessor's office last year. I'd like to get the recorder's office redone this year.
Whose office is that, Daddy?
It's Gail's.
Gale's
Gale's.
corner, cause it's got some problems in the road, ceiling,
It probably hasn't been redone in 30
Yeah.
plus years.
more.
Do they put that out for bid?
Good morning.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Perfect spot
Do what?
for you right there.
No, they put that out for bid.
Or if you wanna go right here.
Did the LAPC make a comment?
Excuse me?
Pardon?
May the LAPC make a comment?
You want them to redo your office?
The one I don't have? No, I was wondering if it would be appropriate in your, minds to copy the LAPC email and text for all of this fly ash stuff. If you get on that list.
Remind me again what the LPC
Yeah,
is.
sure.
What's the LPC again,
Local
Bruce?
Emergency Planning Committee.
Thank you.
We're tasked with hazmat education,
Definitely.
and that's obviously hazmat.
You should be, yeah,
So
you should be.
I'd like to be included, know when meetings are, where they're at.
Yeah.
Any materials you get as far as test results, that sort of thing.
Definitely.
Uh,
Sarah.
The email address is LEPC, Henry County MO @gmail.com. And you can text my number at 707-845-1685.
LEPC.
LEPC Henry County MO @gmail.com. And then the phone for texting is 707-845-1685. Appreciate that.
Sounds
Thank
like
you.
a California number.
Yes, it is. That evil state.
It is.
It's Northern California.
Start with these.
Yeah.
Henry.
there was an address wrong on the last one. So we need to sign two spots.
Yes,
I'll figure people to read it. But I'll charge to read it, that's it. That's not my case. You know, read on this.
Yeah, my spot.
Glasses, can't read this.
Actually, that's been blown up for you. There's a
It's
big-
still up there.
There's a bigger version.
It's still up
of it.
there.
You can have that.
Okay.
I'll take two more.
Okay, we can scan it.
This is a 4x3, 30, I think. Rick, if you get a bigger copy.
Once I get it on the computer, I can do it.
The actual report, I have in the office. Where it's spelled everything out.
You didn't need anything? Not neat, but it's something.
Have the option of attending.
Yeah, I'll get the cold sweats, get pale, almost pass out. Sorry, I forgot this was in my pocket, so it might be a hair melted.
Okay.
See, I grabbed two before leaving the house, like one on the way into town, and they're pretty good, so I'm trying to come over just in case. Yeah. Send it to Wendy.
She'll know I'm desperate.
No, you're hurting, huh? Take whatever you can get. Look like everything's good.
Who's this Jeff? Monty, how do you pronounce that last name? Tucker.
I am the kid, yeah.
Just those two spots.
I'm a teacher. I deal with a classroom full of people like you.
Breakfast.
Reese's.
No, it's not a Snickers. I told him to take a picture of it, because wouldn't you want to believe I'm eating that?
That's what actually.
I know that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
First thing I look for anywhere I go.
Okay. Okay. Greg Rivers, y'all want to go to that lunch? CCAM,
Is that?
that'll be down CCAM, we'll have it.
Oh, at the CQ.
Yeah.
I'm not, yes.
Go on.
What time?
Greg Rivers, they'll send us a confirmation, we just need a make sure, confirm that we're going. All three of us go? Okay. Yes, Scotty, this is Jim Stone of Henry County. Hi, I'm fine. We wanted to confirm three of us going for the lunch. Right, okay. All right, thank you, Dad. Goodbye. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, I just have corrected minutes.
Huh? Corrected?
Almost done if you want these.
God, I can't believe she
I forgot myself, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Didn't figure you'd mind. I was gonna switch around the file for they roll, so.
I've got the auditor's engagement letter that needs to be signed. So that's what you guys approved of Thursday, the auditor. That's just an engagement letter to
Yeah.
sign.
Okay. I just engagement letter saying we're gonna do it.
Oh, for the audit,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is the break speed letter that they needed to sign.
Zoom, let's see. Yeah. This will be all on here.
This is a membership letter for insurance consortium for health insurance for county employees.
Yeah. That's where I'll go with that.
Okay.
Kinda comes with the territory.
I think it's a cult.
Oh, well, we're spraying, we just pull our hair down, make our own.
Make your mask.
Make your mask.
Gotta go to your office one day and see how many more you
I was gonna ask you being governor, that's why you're speaking for
We got one more there.
We need to
He's
try
not
to
gonna-
get a
he's not
list
gonna have to
of
very
all
long.
the people that actually do the testing on some of this. If we have a list of everybody that's.
He just texted you.
Did he?
Yeah.
You just say Chase, just,
I don't have your number, I don't think.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
660-351.
I'm not even gonna remember.
I know you'd have it right off the top.
Yeah.
660-351-1133.
I will send it to you.
I didn't look yet, are any of these in, like, Missouri?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I,
They haven't got anything else.
yeah. The only one was that one in Raleigh,
Huh?
that's it.
I reached out to the college, University of Missouri, hopefully I'll get a
Yeah.
contact.
They might
Because
have
a lot of
some.
them have, yeah, so hopefully I'll get you an answer today or tomorrow from them. I don't know what to do
Like
with
it's
it.
something that we can have,
Okay.
that we can be able to use.
guess one of them's in St. Louis.
Huh?
One of them's in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah. All that filled out.
That's all done there.
Yeah, just,
Yeah,
I
thought everything was pretty well already signed, it looked like.
Yeah, except for the very last page.
Their page, engagement.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chromium things, so, yeah, that's on a, it's at 2 point something. Yeah, it's supposed to be that much.
Which one did you send it to? This one?
Yeah. I don't actually know if I have it.
I don't have a list.
Huh?
Maybe that's it.
I think you have to download that.
Okay.
I did it lazily.
No, that's the
Lazily.
You gotta remember, we're not as technical.
I could say you can make
You
me
need,
work.
you need to make this a little simpler for us, make it a lot easier on the phone deal.
Exactly.
Everjohn, SGI, or one other.
So I have a filter on my water deal.
Eurofins, SGS, and Intertech are the three.
Which one's in St. Louis?
Yours, yeah.
Which one?
Eurofins.
Eurofins?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like they've been testing this stuff for like 20 years, so they seem to have one of the best reports in my opinion.
Where do you get in?
That's private individuals, right?
Chase,
Hmm.
where do you get in here?
Yeah, private companies.
Yeah.
I guess what I was saying is.
Don't feel bad, I gotta do the same thing.
Oh,
Those
you're,
are,
that's the
yeah.
ones?
yeah, those are
Okay.
the three, and then you can just look up
All
like
right.
Eurofins.
Okay, all right, there, all right, thank you. That'd been a lot simpler. Those three names, if you had just copied them and sent them. Yeah,
Water and soil?
well,
Yeah, it looks like they do water, soil, air, and it looks like they do a lot of different, like, testing types, not just this. They do like, chemicals. Shit, they had a whole list here. Let's see. Yeah, they got, biopharma services, clinical diagnostics, consumer product testing, environmental testing, food testing, genomic services, and agroscience services.
okay.
Kinda looks like they got quite a few labs over in like Asia and Europe too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we need to reach out to them and see what test it costs.
Mhm.
Then we'll have to get with everybody. Then that'll give us a point. How'd y'all think it went last night?
I thought it went well, I really did. I think everybody, they were able to at least hear what was going on. We had left it open for people to talk and ask whatever questions. I think it went well, I did.
And for the most part, I think Missouri should have been informing.
Yeah.
They should know a little bit. And I really thought that, Evergy was, they really responded well.
Yeah, I mean, it was good of them to calm down. It
Yeah.
looked good. But
what,
it's like anything else.
what good it does, I
Yeah.
can't tell. Big thing is have to find out and
Yeah.
see what we can do. I think some of the testing, some of that needs to, I agree, needs to be gone over a little bit. I never thought about it, but I wish they'd have tested like the roads and stuff like that, especially on what all the chemicals was, cause then white, how much of it was lime. I got thinking about that. Cause when you run over, when you're doing a bunch of tractor trailers, you know a bunch, and they're not, most of them trucks don't set still.
No.
Oh, kinda like gravel haulers, they move, don't they?
Yeah. You gotta move to get the money, so,
That's right,
yeah.
but anyway, that
There's a lot
part
of different
would've
variables.
separated a lot of it there, been good to do. I've just been trying to cover all the bases there. Yes, Kelly? Oh. This Jim Stone, Jonathan, I'm sorry, I thought you were. Yes. Yes, we are. You want me to put you on speakerphone? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, Jonathan. Okay.
I wasn't.
Call you back.
I wasn't too sure on that. I
This-
had,
Some of them were in the ditch samples, correct?
Okay.
they were,
Yeah,
Let me get your number, 816-896 and 4273. Pardon? Oh, okay. It'll probably be somewhere, well, usually over about 12 if we can, but it depends on what time. Okay, all right, you want me to call you then? Is that what you, okay. Okay, well, he's here today, we'll just put you on speaker and that'll be fine then. All right? All right, thank you. Bye. That was Channel 4, Jonathan, and he wants to call him back. And he'll see us picking up on the speaker.
Did you get
We-
last name? So,
Huh?
last name.
Jonathan,
when we do the
we'll
testing,
get it.
do you think that we should, because the way they made it sound, in a very nice way, was that they were concerned about the testing, whether it was right or whether it was not. So I'm wondering if, when we go to do our testing, should we do it in the same areas? Because that's gonna give you.
If we're gonna compare the
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
yes,
apples to apples.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just think that'd be a good idea.
I think that'd be good, and I think it wouldn't be bad to have a little bit more.
Yeah, I did too.
Uh,
His last name, Rick, was Keats, Ketz.
There you go,
I got a call.
Ketz.
Ketz.
thank you.
He's the one that ran the story. I'm gonna send all three of those companies the links to their actual website, make it easier for you
Well,
guys.
thank you, he's learning a little bit,
Yeah.
especially that.
You might check and make sure, my personal opinion, there's no connection to Evergy.
Energy,
Like
yes.
that they're not a partner, just,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, Mark, John, just so we call him back. 'Cause we're putting
Is that
him
what
on
he was
speaker.
wanting? I wasn't quite
He is
sure.
wanting, and he wanted Mark too.
Okay.
Cheers on, so. Yeah. Just go back to nope, that ain't it. Take
Is this the
that.
same guy we talked to yesterday?
Yes, I think it was. Oh, Jonathan?
Yeah,
Hey, this is Jim Stone, Henry County Commissioner.
how's it going?
Fine, can you see us all right?
Well, you're calling me, so I can't see you.
Okay, I thought you was gonna pick up. Okay,
I can hear you.
okay.
Are you guys in your meeting right now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, because I'm not trying to bombard or stop the public meeting. But when do you think you guys will do testing yourselves out at Montrose?
Well, we was just discussing that. We was trying to get the names of the people that do the testing that we're looking for heavy metals. And we'll have to contact them and see what we can find out, and then we'll have to contact Evergy to make sure everybody's in agreement. And then we was just discussing to try to go back to some of the same places that they tested before to double check everything. That was some of the things that we wanted to do. But that's what we're doing right now. We were just discussing that.
If I came down to Henry County today, would one of you two be willing to talk to me? You or Mark?
What time you want to come down?
That's a good question. I got your cell phone number.
Yes.
And I'm driving, so I can't write down Mark's number, but, I did think, Mark, do you feel like you took Chuck Hazley to town last night?
I probably would not call it that. I mean, it was more of a, bottom line, like I said, this has got nothing to do personally. It doesn't have anything to do, that I think Evergy is a bad company or anything. I think there's been some huge mistakes made. I think there's things that have been overlooked on Evergy's part. And for myself and the other two commissioners, we just want the truth. That's all I'm asking for. If you made a mistake, admit to it. Let's get on with it, figure out how to take care of this. But in saying that, I also, and I know Jim and Jake both, we don't want a runaround, and I get his job is to protect his company. I totally understand that. But there comes a point where it's like, you know what, the evidence is kind of mounting here, let's just do what we need to do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I took him to task.
Whose phone is this, by the way?
This is a county phone, or up at the office.
Okay. Well, how about this? Can I, Jim, can you give Mark my cell phone number? Because you got it because I texted you last night. Because I do think I'd be interested in hearing from one of you two. And I put Mark in my story last night because you talked so much with Chuck at the beginning. But, I'd like to have Mark's phone number and just to...
Yeah. You're the one sent
because
the thank you, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's correct.
All right, Jonathan. I got your number here then. I'll put it in my contacts. Okay?
And Mark, give me a call when you're free because, I may meet you again. I don't know if it's gonna be this week or today, but, this is a story that's interesting, as I told you before the meeting started.
Okay, yep, I can do that, doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Thank you for calling me back so quickly.
Okay, Jonathan.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Jonathan, Fox 4. I wonder if
Do you think you took it to town?
I got this text message going home last night that said, thank you. I didn't know what that meant. Anyway, there, give that to him. Here you go. Write it. Cause I didn't, I was driving, I didn't look at anything, I just looked to see if it called. Yeah, it came up on the message. Thank you. I never read the other part.
Nice of him.
Okay, all right. There we go.
Just rise up tempers, resistance rises.
So it sounds like, as I said, so it sounds like we're gonna have to get moving out on this.
Well, we need, that's what I said, we need to be a check and see what we can find.
Right.
Cause otherwise we gotta rely on them, and that's first thing, it'll be a big no-no to everybody.
Mhm.
I'd rather us go to them with the,
How do you wanna handle that?
well, we're gonna have to get a hold of them and have them send us a quote.
Who'd get a hold of who?
Your forms, in fact, we could send it all three of them,
Actually, that's probably not a bad idea.
and then just,
Yeah.
that way, because they may have locations, different colleges too, that they do.
Okay.
But I
Be
really
nice.
think MU ought to have one, I would assume that, but, cause they're big,
I will tell you, MU has a big connection with Evergy.
MU does.
They got a
Well, that
real
may
big
be.
connection.
Okay.
It's hard to say about any big.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when you get into some of that technical stuff,
Yeah.
cause you don't see that many people around.
No.
That's gonna be a big thing, chemicals. So, but I think that's the only thing we can do is send out, RFQ.
So,
Don't you think?
who's going, are you gonna do that, or?
But we'll have contact with them, see about it.
So you're gonna contact them. I mean, I just wanna
One
make
of
sure
us-
that this does not fall.
One of us has gotta
Right.
get a hold of, get
Okay.
that and ask them about it. I mean, I guess what we can do and have them send us some.
Okay.
We just gotta get the numbers of everybody and call them up.
Okay.
And we see that,
Seems like the right best. Do we need to contact, say, the insurance company to see if they prefer or need to send us to someplace else too? I know like the school, Davis School, the insurance company required their own testing.
wonder who they use.
I don't know. I wasn't told that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I
I
just,
can
I
find
guess,
out.
I'd be somebody to talk to if they're gonna be out there anyway.
I'll reach out
Yeah.
to see who they use.
Jim, do you think it's worthwhile perhaps talking to council? I mean, I don't think the county's in a position to do anything with it, but just kind of get the ball rolling in case the tests come back and the county needs to, or you got someone kind of informed and lined up and ready to jump if something happens.
Well, I don't know what we can do and can't not do on that. We'll
That's
have to
all.
go through, Rick, you know more about that. I don't know.
I don't know if that'd be worth just reaching out and putting a bug in someone's ear.
Cause we have to watch some of the things we get into.
Send an email to Ivan if you want.
We can check with them. Who else would y'all wanna use?
I
Who
would,
else?
honestly,
What about, our other,
Travis.
huh?
See if we talk
Travis?
about something else.
You wanna reach out to Travis?
Okay,
We
let's
can
put
talk to
that.
Travis, either
Yeah,
one,
I think-
Ivan or Travis, either one. I think it gives, we need to have some direction what we can do and can't do. That's what I'm more concerned with there. I wanna make sure, I know we can share in some of it, but I wanna make sure we're in the clear.
So they might have a
Cause all of a
suggestion
sudden-
going forward too.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that'd be a good idea. Well, send it to Ivan, and we'll have to reach out to Travis. I hope I can visit with him. We tried to visit with him 2 years ago. Cause we was interested in trying to do something, and Travis wasn't too accessible.
I talked to him.
And I think
already.
now he will be.
Cause I had a question, I actually called him and he responded really quick to
I
me.
think that'd be good if that's what you want to do too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think it'd be a great idea.
So we're, cause I wanna make sure I understand that. So we're gonna talk to these guys to just find out what our options are.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I
And then-
understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not gonna get an engagement till we get,
Have to,
yes.
right.
We gotta-
And
Let's get our ducks lined up, and
Yeah.
then we need to contact them, cause it has to be a mutual agreement too.
Right.
And I'm sure, I think they'll go along with us anyway, but anyway, I wanna make sure,
Okay.
cause we're kinda really going out on a limb a little bit there on some of the things that we do.
Well, you ought to a
Cause then
point.
all of a sudden, we've taken control of everything, and we can't do that.
True, but we also have to protect ourselves, because if we've got, if all of this is 100% true, they get that and they bring it back, and we have fly ash, which I know we have it on the roads, I mean, I made that
Yeah,
very
yeah,
evident.
yeah.
But if we've got it on the roads and we have it in the right of way, the next issue that's gonna come is somebody's gonna say, what are you guys doing about this?
So that's what's
And
gonna.
we don't
See.
wanna pay to have that done. I mean, my
We're not the
thought
ones-
is if we're gonna have to do this, and I understand we need to find out what our parameters are
Mhm.
to do it. But if we have to do this,
Yeah.
it seems only smart to go with the guy that already has the discovery. He already has all the stuff with it, and use him, because whether it's Travis or it's, Ivan, they've gotta start from square one. And TJ Priest, I'm pretty sure, I haven't met very many lawyers that are willing to, here, you
Yeah.
use this, I've done the legwork, and you can just, so, and that's, I think what you're saying is a really good idea, because I think we do need to find out what we can do.
Mhm.
I just think that if we get to the point to where, you know what, we're gonna have to do something, it just seems smart to go with the guy that's already in it.
Well, I'd say, let's see where we're headed here first. Cause
Right.
I haven't, or any of those, but just like this last night, there was a couple of attorneys there.
Oh, yeah,
Just-
one that we were standing there
One, and I
talking to.
didn't realize who it was,
Well,
we
you're-
went back to introduce me, I didn't know him. And he said, well, he's just an attorney, when they come down with us.
You're gonna have ambulance
That's what he-
chasers everywhere.
That's what he was looking for.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Attorneys-
this is a big
Attorneys
deal.
are always anxious to see if they can get a client.
Jim, do you know, and this might be a question for Ivan or Travis, but whilst all this is going on, cause I've seen on Facebook and then some of the people I talked to last night want to know, can they drink their water, their cows and stuff? Is there through SEMA or emergency management, Mark talked about it a little bit, like getting water in for people or something that the
We can-
county?
Mark has got, we can get water to people if that's what we
Okay.
wanna dive into, they've got it.
Cause I know that
Yeah,
on Facebook, I've
that's-
seen that big concern, like, what do we do? Can we drink this water? So I didn't know if there was a way the county could help provide.
We can get water in, the way I understand it. But FEMA's got that available.
Good deal.
I guess that's where it's at.
They will help us for a little bit, but once long-term life, they,
Yeah.
Well, sure, yeah,
They got
Are they talking just drinking water for
And I don't
people
know.
or for
See,
cattle?
the problem is you got two things there, and one, when I found out most of them was wells, that changes a lot of things, because all that's been, everything out in that area, we've had trouble with anyway, just water, and it's been there that way since Kansas City Light was there, well, even before we'd have to ask Dennis and some others, but I know out in that area, we've had to go, first off, went to aluminized pipe, okay? and they still rusted out in time. But if it was steel pipe, it'd be gone in a couple of years, just, so it's real acid.
Right.
So you can imagine what's in the groundwater anyway then. And then, that was back in the Peabody days, and then as it went along, we've had different ones even down, joining counties or stuff like that. And we even went to aluminum culverts to put in, and that's saved a lot. I'd have to have Jim Talley was in, we was talking about, or we'd talked about that. That was a major concern anytime we was out in that area, and then when they come out with the black plastic, the new stuff, doesn't burn as bad.
Right.
It really was worked out pretty good, and we're using a lot of that, especially, and it's even helping the rest of it, but that was worse down that way, everywhere where Peabody was.
Right.
And that's because of the chemicals they got.
I've got a couple of questions also, because since we've got on this water issue, I wanna make sure that we're covered completely. Our water department, one, I know they don't check for the heavy metals. They just check for mercury, whatever, the normal stuff. So I'm wondering if that would be, we probably should check that. And in saying that, you have to have a license to be the head, like I don't know who our water guy is.
Alliance.
Okay.
Or
You mean
in
head of that,
Henry
right?
County.
No, I mean,
Or
who's
in-
running the water department?
Yeah, Alliance, that's who's running it, Big Ben down there, that's who's.
Does he have a
over it now.
license, does he
Oh, yes,
actually
he's
have
got-
a water license?
He's got a water license, he's the one that retired from Air Force, and then he's done a lot of it.
Okay,
And he's still doing it, but yeah, they have to be an A-rated anyway on all
yeah,
theirs.
that's, I just wanna make sure before we
Yeah,
start
all-
delving into this water situation, we have
They
all
even-
of our ducks in a row.
Even the people that work in the plant, we have even water too, that are A-rated water people anyway. Because they do certain tests all the time on the water.
Right.
And just like I said last night, I went over and visited with Ben a little bit. And I will double check the heavy metals, but that's some of the things he had talked about. He said, yeah, he knew about a lot of this, cause he had looked at the test. And anyway, he was talking about it, he said, he pulled up, it's on our website, to go on there, and you can look, but he said, he's getting a current one, because the one that just got done within 24, they didn't, he said, I'll just get one right now, so he had taken samples yesterday, out of number 3 and number.
But will those samples, will he be
Yes.
able to test for the
He's,
heavy
I'm gonna
metals?
find out from him for sure, I wanna
Okay.
double check everything.
Okay,
That's what I will do, and I'm doing that, and he said, just like he said, we need to do it anyway with all this brought up. When we get done, we're gonna take and send it out to all the residents that get water.
right,
Just like he's the one that picked up, he's looking at it, he said, oh, these are wells on that. I mean, he already knew about it, just looking at it. And then, just like the one test, that was in a area where they had water and they run it through the system.
okay. The other question that I had, because this is blown up on Facebook, and it's not just your average Joe, I've seen commissioners post, I've seen, people like that. I'm wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea as a commission for us to send an email or a letter or whatever to any of the surrounding counties that are around us that could possibly be affected by this. We don't have to stick our foot in and say, we know for sure that this is what's going on, but at least make them aware that there is that possibility. That way, if it's there, nobody's gonna come back to the 3 of us and say, why didn't you guys let us know?
Right.
So, I mean, it's a simple CYA, just a general informative email, letter, whatever, that tells people, this is the issue we have going on.
I think that's fine. I mean, I really, all the surrounding counties already know about it.
They do,
I-
but it's
they-
like
how
anything
far
else.
down they know, I don't know, but just like Isaac, those guys last night from Pettis County.
Right,
But they was on a landfill
Right.
deal, so what they was looking for.
but
That's-
it's like
It is
anything
after
else.
information from every,
Always want to have paperwork to back
Yeah.
up. Hearsay or
Yeah.
you
I like
guys are
that idea.
friends and talking,
Yeah.
that's not good enough.
No.
It needs to be paper driven or email driven, whatever.
so let's get something written up, see what you can think about it and write one up. Then we'll just send it to all our surrounding ones,
Okay.
cause I know all their emails, I'll get that too. In fact, should be in the book, that chart of all
Okay.
the counties.
How long does it take to get these tests back once they get started? Sam?
I have no idea.
I was
Do
reading
you know?
they were saying, I was reading their website, it says different things, anywhere from like, we can tell you what it is within 5 minutes to like a month, so I'd say a month would be reasonable.
Why does it take so long?
I've had paint testing done, samples, it's like, oh my gosh, how long does it take you to tell me what I told you it is?
None of them get in a hurry.
No, they do not. They gotta justify that $10,000 bill to you.
That's right.
Is there anything we're
I'm thinking we need to check in and make sure that we're covering all protocols, like what you said with the, sending an email, if there's anything else we need to do to protect
Right.
everybody, all the
Right.
citizens and all of us legally as well.
Yeah, that, I really don't know, and that'd be more or less, that's gonna have to be it.
The question for
Somebody
Ivan
that-
or Travis, sounds like to
We
me.
can see, reach out, like I say, we need to find out what's true, what we need to do. Cause that's altogether different, deal.
You guys
Yeah.
were talking about the potential of bringing in water from SEMA. Is that a request that's already been made, or is that something that's a possibility after testing the water?
FEMA had contacted Mark, our emergency manager, and said
Uh-huh.
they had water available if we needed it.
Okay,
That's,
just the fact that it's available, not something you necessarily requested or is on its
no,
way.
we haven't
Okay.
requested anything yet.
Okay. And the three companies that you guys are considering right now, that's just a launching off point, right? Not necessarily that you
correct.
go with any three
Right.
of them,
Right.
okay.
I guess the big thing is, and what probably my first concern is, of course, the school, it's hard for me to believe it's on wells. I just figured there's on real water. But anyway, there wasn't.
Have you guys been in communication with the school district since all of this has happened? I know last week they closed for 2 days. What's the deal now? Are they back
I
in
think
session?
they're still closed, they're having school
They're
here
still
now.
closed.
They've moved to another location
They've-
here in town.
Yeah, they've got a building, a church down here that they got it. Cause how many kids do they have there?
About 45
45 or
something like
Total?
that, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, yep.
Yeah.
I've heard anywhere from 43 to 45, and it seems like it's dwindling, so.
So the school board moved over, that's what it was, so.
Gotcha, and it's still operating over there at the church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday was the first day.
What was that?
Yesterday was the first day over there at the church.
That they were back? Okay.
So are they doing their own testing, the
Yeah.
school itself?
They're doing, this way I understand, they're gonna be tested.
I
They're
did
tested.
talk to Karen Bedford, and she said that their insurance company is requiring them to get another sample of their own with their own company to come over and test it. And that's kind of where it's been left at from there. I haven't talked to her since, really. The only other thing we talked about was I told her about the meeting last night.
Be interesting if we could find out theirs. I really think that'd be just as well as any, cause to have them test the others at the same.
Yeah, I don't know how much they'll be able to, enlighten us with,
Yeah, I
you
don't
know, but I
And
can
I
reach
would-
out to Karen.
see what they found, and we can go from there.
Sorry.
Place to look first.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cause that was one of the highest places.
Well.
I think that was one of the highest.
For the
numbers.
furthest away, right?
Furthest away, yeah, their numbers were like some of the highest numbers.
Yeah. On the water deal is way out. Anyway, but I can understand that, well, especially as close as it was.
Yeah.
I can really understand it, water. But I don't know, with all the tests coming back for, like, the rural ones, but I don't know what Monroe's, they got a water district down there too, so
I was gonna-
we need to find out who they are.
I know there was a couple of people that approached me last night that, they were concerned, I guess, because I don't know a whole lot about that area down there.
Yeah.
But I guess there's another Montrose school down there that's within 4 miles or something, or a couple other schools in that area.
A little further.
Yeah, I think, well, you gotta have one city.
Oh, there's, St. Mary's.
That's it.
Yeah,
And
St.
then there's
Mary's.
Montrose School.
That's all right.
Okay. I think they were from Montrose School, I think.
There is just the regular school too
Yeah,
there.
and they were concerned, they were wanting to know,
Yeah.
what do we do? So,
Did they test anything close to Montrose when they ran that test? What's that?
The Bancroft property was the closest down towards Montrose.
Yeah.
How far is that away from Montrose?
He's on the south
miles?
side of the lake.
If that.
Yeah, he's just on the south side of the lake by about 8 miles, so.
Yeah, you can see on the map there, how close Montrose is.
I got it somewhere.
I have a quick question. I know there's a lot of discrepancy between, the environmental evaluation done by MDNR and then the one done by Triangle and whatnot. So how do we deal with that moving forward? Is that all going to be void once these new evaluations come back? Is this what's gonna stand? Is there all an agreement on that?
I don't think we came to an agreement on that yet.
I don't
It's
know.
more pulling all the information
Yeah.
together and then going from there.
It's just a lot of he said, she said, I mean,
That's what,
if they tested the same area and they came back with 2 different results, who do we go with?
that's right.
And so I was just wondering if this new testing is going to be,
Is
What
that
you
gonna
guys
be
go
the
with?
test or is it gonna be another?
yeah, and how do we all agree on?
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be unhappy about this, so how do you
Well, I
guys
think
plan on
first-
moving forward?
If we have Evergy and cause they're gonna be involved in it.
Right.
And they wanna hear about it. I'll let them take the lead because they're the one responsible.
Okay.
And they have accepted that they wanna double check everything. They're aiming for it the same way. That's the reason why he's agreed to do what he's doing,
Is that?
of the testing.
Yes.
Did I explain or understand properly that you guys are picking the company to do the test, but Evergy's paying for the test?
I thought that was a split fund.
Yeah, we were gonna, the way we told, what I actually said, cause I asked Jim, I said, do you wanna pay for this? He said, yeah, we pay for one of them. So, when I made that statement, Chuck, yeah, he said, hey, I'll do you one better.
I wanna share that
We'll
cost.
share the cost with it. So I'm, I don't know 100%, but I would venture to bet that it's probably like a 50-50 split. And then, you know, I mean, whoever we pick, we're gonna have to contact Evergy and say, hey, look, this is the company that we think we need to go with.
Both sides have to agree, that's
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and he even said that.
Right, and I mean, honestly, I don't know how, I mean, if I'm Evergy and you come to me and you say you have a company that does this for a living, like I said last night, these people are not going for this, they have nothing to win or gain. It's not like they're gonna get millions of dollars. They're gonna get paid to do their job, and if they do it wrong, you're out of business. That's not like an oops, that is an oh no. So, I would find it hard for Evergy to turn down literally whoever we pick, unless it's whoever we pick was, you know, Joe down the road. That's got his own little private, and so, any legit company, I think, and I'm just, I mean, I don't know about you two, but I'm the same way. I mean, if that's what they do, that's their forte, they're gonna do it right. I have a very, and I said this last night, you know, I probably shouldn't have, but I did. I don't trust DNR. They don't have a good track record. They just don't. Either does the EPA. So anything that they're involved with, I'm not real sure.
I would like to have the DNR guy that was there doing that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
test, this guy was kind of thrown in under the
Yeah, well,
bus.
you could tell.
And he
was like,
he didn't know anything about it because he wasn't there.
Mike was out there on Saturday.
He was,
Really?
so he wasn't.
Yeah.
Mike the DNR guy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
They
you.
were there last night, right?
Pardon?
MDNR?
Yes.
Yeah, there
What
was
did they have to
representative.
say last night?
They didn't really say too much.
Yeah, they didn't.
He
say
stood
that.
up and talked a little bit, but he didn't know anything.
Did he reiterate the fact that everything was in compliance?
He
Forever.
actually, I don't think that, well, he actually didn't say that.
No.
He didn't say anything. He just said they had not gotten the results back yet.
From
From
what
the tests that he took when he went out there with Mark, and them, or
Yeah.
before you, whatever.
Yeah.
So, the EPA guy was there, and it was crickets out of him. He did not say a word, which I thought was a little strange, because this is an EPA issue. So,
more testing?
Yep. Okay, Dennis, what we got?
I don't need to be on no TV.
Hey, thank you,
get your
thank you
best
for
side.
helping
Exactly.
last night and this morning.
Not on I notified the townships on the north side, and they have till tomorrow morning to have their bridges cleaned off. Otherwise, I will have them cleaned off by Friday because the state's coming in Monday. We're going to do some fracture critical bridges on Monday, and then Tuesday through Friday, we're going to do our bridge inspections on the other bridges. 2 townships told me to go ahead and start cleaning their bridges because they didn't want no part of it. So we're cleaning Fields Creek and Davis today. Even though their bridges ain't up for inspection until next month. We're gonna go ahead and get them knocked out of the way. So that's basically all I have. I'm gonna put in a pipe order. It's gonna be roughly around 35,000. The pipe order will be, 2 of them's gonna be pretty good oblique pipes because I'm gonna take out a bridge and put some obliques in there, how it lays and stuff. If we built a new bridge, I would have to hire a company to come in and drill through the rock and everything else, so it's just better to put the obliques in there. And I've done the math and everything, and it carries the hydraulic flow and everything. So, you got anything for me, Mark?
Mike came by, he told me he'd have his bridge done. He's gonna take care, I guess, whatever, I don't know which one it is.
I think he only had one on
Yeah,
his
that's what he
list,
said.
and, he said he'd get it taken care of, and, so. Some others, they ain't too whoopy on it, so I'm gonna probably end up having to clean them and send a bill to them. Jake, you got anything?
No, not today.
Jim?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, when you seen you come in, say, down south, whenever we're putting in pipe, I don't know with you, but I know Rodney would have been, when we was putting in aluminum pipe down there because it's rusting out so quick. Was you around?
No, they put an aluminum box in
Yeah.
that one pipe
Yeah.
because it
And
kept
one-
rusting out.
That's right. And a lot of that was acid water down there.
And that was over by the Montrose Lake
Yep.
area.
That's where it was. I just was sure that somewhere down in there, I was gonna double
And
check.
how them aluminum box
And,
culverts work, you gotta go in and pour concrete
Yeah.
foundation and pour a little stud wall, and the, arch aluminum goes over the top of the pipes.
Okay.
So, do you need to know when it was put in?
No,
I was gonna say, I
I'm just
can,
curious.
but, yeah, they told me that because of the, area that it was in, it kept rusting out every few years. And it's not only in the south, we have a couple up north, that we put in 2 years later, we had to go in and put, new ones in because of the, I don't know if it's the fertilizer or the hog manure or what, but it just, the acid in the ground just eats them out.
Yep.
So,
Was it near a strip pit area?
do what?
Was it near a strip pit area up in the?
No, sir. The one up north is not. It's up around, a couple hog barns and then, just a bunch of farm ground. Rick, you got anything?
I don't, but
Yeah.
thank you guys for
Yeah.
helping us put chairs
Oh,
out,
yeah.
man.
Nope, not a problem. Anytime you guys need something like that, that's what we're here to help you.
Alright, thank you.
And I'm still researching your road and your road.
Oh, I know what, how about the road over there by, Old Crow?
What about it?
How, the road width that runs along,
The winery place.
over the winery.
Fox.
Red Fox.
Red
Red
Fox
Fox,
Winery?
Red Fox, yes.
I don't know without looking at my computer.
If you could, we need to know the road, the easement width, is what we're needing,
Okay.
long,
I know there's a one piece of property over there that's, not in the best of shape and,
yes, that's the road.
and, I know Rick's had to deal with her in the past of trying to get the place cleaned up and stuff, and it's just, an eyesore.
You know what
Is,
road number
is
that is?
that the house that looks like it's been abandoned?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I got the picture of it.
There you go.
Yeah, I actually drove by it over the weekend.
Do you know what road number that is?
I don't know if that is coming off of 800.
Oh, I thought I had it.
Okay, well, I don't need it to take to me.
Because that's your concern.
The other one right behind you still on though.
I've been trying to stay out of view of them things.
What's your question, Rick? I didn't hear.
What's the road number?
I ain't sure if it's 800 that, or,
This is the one on, this is at the gate. Yeah, this is different.
Is it 800 or 11? It's either 800 or 1401.
I think it's 50,
1301.
It's
I
1401.
think it's 13. That's right.
13. It's not 13. It'll be 1401.
Okay.
This one here.
Yeah.
Sneak up out there and make jokes about it.
That's always you make your jokes. You can make bigger jokes.
Okay, we're taking it back to the right subject.
Anything else, Rick?
No,
You guys have a pleasant day. I looked at a map on, Northwest Line Road, and that was 1967. And it didn't even show So,
Hey,
I got a 1958 map here, I'm gonna go look at it and see if there's a road there. If there's no road been there in 1958, I'd say that was just a private drive. And because as far as that piece of property, where that house is.
Right.
And if that's the case, then we actually gotta talk to them about getting an easement to put the road
Like
in
any
there.
other
If that's what
things
you
that
wanna
would
do.
probably, right?
Behind that.
Yeah, find out.
Details.
Let's keep it simple.
tell you what, Jeff, Zone Hollows, going what I rethought, that's what it was. Alright,
They're attacked,
I sent an email off to, Merck, SEMA,
right? And
people
you
in
guys are
idea
just entertaining the idea, not necessarily that you.
asking some questions.
You can respond.
Their awareness of it, if there's any grant funds for testing, may or may not be available for private landowners. I don't expect any positive information.
I've only
I was
dealt
gonna ask you a
with once.
question and I
Our,
forgot what I
our
was gonna ask.
building got blown down,
You want me to get that for you, sir?
please, at, Windsor Special. We had that tornado go through. They were a pain.
Commissioner's office, Mark.
They did have some funding, they did have funding for some things, with all the ARPA, that's all dried up. So probably broke again.
What, your first name's Kim? And your last name's Philip?
Say anything, that's what MDNR said, so I was just. So did
Can I
they get
keep your
more
phone number
sampling
there on
yesterday
break
when they
right
were out
quick?
and about, is that what you meant? Cause like, one of you just told me like MDNR said, we're not gonna talk, cause we haven't gotten the results back from the
They-
sampling today, so did they take more testing yesterday?
What was that, Friday?
I'm not sure when they took the test done.
Senate Bill 193.
But yeah, for DNR. But at the meeting, when I was talking to him, when he was sitting there, I asked him if they had the results
They
back.
went out
Yeah.
Friday.
Last Friday.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
and he
all
said
as
it
of
was
now.
late and they only got 5
out
of the
of
7
7.
spots tested.
Yeah, that's
Oh, so it's not
Yeah,
over
give you a call
yet.
back here?
Oh, well, I don't know if they're gonna go back and test the other 2 spots, but
Thank you.
that's what we know as of right now.
Yeah.
Cause he didn't say if they was gonna go back out and
No,
test.
no, he didn't act like he was.
No, he just said it was a possibility for everybody to.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there any,
You look good sitting there.
more agenda items to get to about this today, are you guys gonna be talking about this more?
You're gonna edit that out.
It's possible,
No,
but
that's a
as
good
far
sign,
as
bud.
On the agenda, I don't believe.
I was just wondering what, if you guys were
I
gonna
just
talk
took a
more
phone
about
call. They
this,
want a phone
since
call
we were
back.
wanting to run
About
to an
Senate Bill
interview, but
190.
I don't wanna leave prematurely, so.
I mean, if it gets brought up or a question gets brought up, we'll talk about it, but I don't, Rick, there's really nothing more on the
Fly ash.
fly ash on the agenda,
I
right?
don't have it on the agenda at all. Well, we did a little bit, but.
You know, for questions or whatever, but. I mean, we pretty well talked about what we was gonna talk about, right?
Yeah, and if you don't, I mean, if for some strange reason it should come back up, it'll be on that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how you know that.
If you got a card, we can reach out to you if we talk about it.
yeah, that'd be great,
Chase knows her number. He knows all the
you
numbers.
guys have my number.
Keep it up. You're gonna have news. They're gonna turn you into an anchor.
I don't know if this mugger will get on TV.
As long as you ask
Intimidation.
better questions too, than you
That's
do in
it.
the town.
Really? Yeah.
We don't have cards yet. Jim's got some cards. Rick might.
Here's one for you. Here's one for you. Yep. And here's one for you.
Oh, thank you.
Pardon me, ma'am. What do you go by?
Gian,
Gian?
Gian,
Thank
yes,
you.
thank
So, sir, while you were on break, I took a phone call from a Kim Olstead. She would like a call back. She has questions about Senate Bill 190, 756. I told her to go give her a call back after you got back from break.
That's the one that, well, the 756 is.
Bruce?
to
Closed
see you,
over.
we will see each other soon.
One day.
May want to call on you because you probably know more about it than a lot of them in here, including me.
I need to make a presentation first.
You've done all the,
Give me my 45 minutes now.
huh? I'll give you that time. Cause it'd be good, in fact, I'd like to hear your spiel, because it would probably be doing that, or just doing it, I don't know.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Did I send you a copy of my slide presentation? I know I did to Dale.
I don't think I ever got a copy for the slides. No, I didn't.
They say Senate Bill 190, I know they're not informed, it's not Senate Bill 190.
Well, she said 756.
Yes, ma'am. Most people don't know that number, though.
Well,
Great job, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we can turn back to the city.
No, we're gonna be here for a little bit longer. That was like Chris loves jobs and cats when he's a commie.
Yeah, with Jonathan.
Pinko comic.
Are
If
y'all
you guys
gonna-
wanna talk to him?
Are y'all gonna film together? Is that what you're gonna film each other? There you go.
I don't know about NBC either.
I would trust this other.
You don't drink coffee?
Oh, I do.
Oh, I sold Mountain.
Three.
No, I've already had.
I don't drink coffee. That's got Mountain Dew. That's my coffee.
3, 9. Oh. All right, Bruce. I may need you to come up. You can come and explain to her a little bit about it. Kim Olson. Yep.
Hello, this is Kim.
Kim, this is Jim Stone, Henry
Yes.
County Presiding Commissioner. And I
Yes.
have you on speaker, and I've got Mark Larson and Jake Bradley. You're with me.
Well, I know that this is probably not high on everybody's list today, given what's going on with the flying act and all that. But
I
was wondering what's going on with the Senate Bill 756.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I have got somebody in here that's done a lot of research on it. In fact, he spoke out at the senior center, and that's Bruce Dewsbury. And I'd like to have him come up, and he can kind of explain a little bit more, a lot better than I can, because of my theory. Bruce, can you come up a minute? Bruce, this is Kim.
Hello, Kim.
Stop screaming.
Hello. What would you like to know?
Just whatever, we checked on it after it passed, last year. We checked with the assessor's office, I think, and they said being implemented, they weren't really sure how it was gonna happen, to check back in January, so that's what I'm doing.
Well, my understanding is that, yes, it was passed, but it's up to the various commissioners of the various counties to decide how and if they're gonna implement it. They have the option of not implementing it at all, as I understand it. Is that correct, John?
Yeah.
The decision for Henry County has not been made at this point.
Okay,
So, at the moment, it's not implemented.
okay.
Probably
Is
Kim's,
it a discussion, or is this just,
well, I tell you what, one of the things that's on this Senate Bill 756 is what the commissioners in a Class 3 county, what we're responsible for. And that is actually two parts of that. One is we have the levy for Henry County, the tax there, and then the senior citizen tax board. And that's the only two that we can freeze. And in the last 2 or 3 years, it's went what? Well, it's been,
Well, the county one has been reduced.
yeah, county levies have been reduced last couple of years. And so it wouldn't save any. And I guess that's where it was in the senior citizen. That one's still staying, it's staying the same.
Very little.
But it's very little. But for the, probably,
The issue that's hasn't been settled yet is what levies the commissioners can freeze. It's not clear in the statute. My personal opinion seems to indicate that they can freeze all of them, but they're gonna get sued if they do that, I'm sure, by the school districts. Those are separate governmental entities, and the commissioners really have nothing to do with setting those levies. They can only deal with the county levy and the senior tax board levy. And if you're just dealing with the county levy and the senior tax board levy, well, it would have cost me money this year if I had frozen it last year. Cause my taxes actually went down.
Okay.
Only like 40 cents.
It's just like your,
Okay.
and if it did on the normal deal, if you go up percent or something like that, it'd be about a $10, what we kinda looked at, $10 savings for doing all the work. And I don't know what your assessment was, I'm just going the average here of what that.
Do you have your property tax,
I don't have it handy, honestly, I didn't know I was gonna get involved in this deep of a conversation,
Yeah.
sorry.
well, you can just look at the levy amounts, both just this county and the
Yeah.
senior tax board, and you can do them all, and you'll get a number. Now, what that means is, that's what it's frozen at. So if the values go up, your tax levies will not. There isn't a big payback out of this. My opinion is it's not a very good law for dealing with this problem. They should work with the circuit breaker, which is already in law. And there are bills at the state senate and house that are trying to fix some of the problems with the circuit breaker program. But they're kind of being stalled out, and Senate Bill 756 is kind of taken over. But I don't think it's gonna mean a lot to some people, most people. Perhaps if you get reassessed at a much, much higher level, because they are trying to fix some of the assessment issues. So there may be some individuals who have been grossly underassessed, and they'll be grossly increased. Well, then there could be a significant savings for those people, but for most people, I don't think it's gonna do
But
much.
if that were to happen, then you really have no recourse because this is not implemented, so.
It's not implemented in Henry County at this point.
Okay. Well, all right, I guess that answers my question. It's not implemented in Henry County, and it doesn't sound all that promising, so. In either, getting done or that it would really do much.
Yeah, the big thing getting it done, for us to do it, it's probably gonna cost 30,000 or something for the software.
Just for the
and then-
software.
Yeah, and then you have to hire a person. And that's not cheap either, so. Cause it's quite a bit,
Okay.
cause every year you have to go back to it.
Yeah, I mean, I did read Jackson County, of course, they had a revolt over their taxes.
Supposed to be.
They've implemented it, and it's
Yeah.
a one-time thing that you don't have to go back and, every year. Because initially what we were told at the assessor's office is that you would have to go back in every year and sign up for this because they couldn't quote keep track of our birthdays.
That's
And I was like,
originally
my,
what we was
I mean,
told, right?
Yeah, you
That
have
was
to
the
come
You
original.
have
back.
to go back
You
every
have
year.
to do it every year.
Yeah,
okay,
of course, Jackson County's a different size county than we are. That's probably
and
you,
they're huge.
yeah, you get into Cass and some of your bigger, larger counties or class 2 or 1, they can,
Mhm.
of course, they run off of sales tax, most of them. And it doesn't really matter because the school's gonna get it anyway. But on county and a smaller county, we don't have that much to help schools out. And if they don't have that, and if it freezes, bond issues or anything else, they'll have to go back through. So that can be
Okay.
problems, but anyway,
All right.
But we are looking into it.
yeah, but we are still, it's still not dissolved, we just really just haven't got into it to decide exactly what we could do and what would be the best thing for the county.
Okay,
Alrighty?
all right, well, I know you've got bigger things on your plate than this, so,
Well, thank you for calling anyway.
all right, thank you.
Alright,
Bye.
bye-bye. I think I talked to her last year. But that is some of the problems on that Senate bill. if it'd save some, but the bad thing is it's not gonna be a big, it's not gonna save the citizens. I'd rather give them so much money a year, take off their taxes.
The one you were talking about.
Circuit breaker's the
Yeah,
best.
That only applies to people that make under $30,000.
That's the problem, that was
Yeah.
initiated
That
in
is
two
a big
thousand and
problem.
eight, and they put a hard number on it for a cap, they didn't index it to inflation. There are several bills in the Senate and the House at the state level trying to address some of those issues of the cap.
See, it's
Yeah,
messed up
because
from up there.
$30,000.
It's messed up from Jeff City. They need to fix this and
Yeah, they are.
instead of passing the problem on.
Well, at $30,000, I would be willing to bet you maybe have 5% of people that make that amount of money that actually own
Yeah.
a home. So
Well, I live
that,
Well, there's renters.
that itself, I would throw it out. 'Cause
Well, I
it
think the
sucks.
circuit breaker also
Circuit
applies
breakers
to rent.
for renters, it applies for
Yeah, it
renters
goes
too.
to
Okay.
rent also.
How
That's
do you
the thing.
pay, how do you pay taxes for that when you're renting?
Like on personal property.
So
Yeah,
like your
so
car
you
and,
get-
There's a statement, I do I help with taxes over the senior center, it's gonna start up again next week. They have a statement from their landlord that says what the amount of rent they paid, and then they get a certain percentage of that, up to $750, I think it is right now, which is grossly too low, that's an annual now.
Yeah, I think there's a bill to increase that number too.
They need to fix the circuit breaker, there's potential for a lot more refunded than there is in Senate Bill 756.
For
It's
the
also
people that need
limited to,
That really
people 60 and over who are, a lower income, there's no reason for a multi-millionaire to get a,
Don't pick and
Rebate.
choose, don't pick and choose.
well, if you're gonna do this.
We're talking socialism
Well,
now.
you know what my,
Don't
you know
pick
what
and
my
choose.
solution is to the whole thing, is throw them both out. And whatever the last price was that house was bought, that's the value that you do your assessments.
And I would agree with that.
They did that in California because it
That
got so
would-
out of control with the rising property values. So if you paid $20,000 for that home 20 years ago, that's the assessed value that they work off of. It doesn't matter that it's worth $300,000 now.
Right.
That's the way to do it.
I don't-
In Missouri, they don't report the sale prices.
I don't know how
right.
the state can pass a law and the county implement it and be liable for a lawsuit.
That's unfunded mandates. I told you earlier that the state is not our friend.
Oh, no. I get
He's gonna
that.
learn that after a while.
I mean, trust me, the state is not our friend, the federal is not our friend. Trust me, unfortunately, I'm more anarchist than anything, but the schools complaining about not getting enough money. I'm gonna get all sorts of hell over saying this out loud, but I'm gonna say it. Last time I checked, Clinton schools were 127th in the state of Missouri. That's where their ranking was. So I homeschool because I didn't want to send kids to public school because I didn't think public school was doing them right. If we've got that many kids coming out of public schools and they can't read, they can't write, they can't do all this stuff, but yet our solution is let's just throw money at it. That does not make sense. I went to Center High School is where I went. That back then, that was like a really, really nice school. They were ranked high in sports, ranked high scholastically, all this stuff. But I didn't have a swimming pool, and I didn't have all this other stuff, and I'm still trying to figure out how is this improved. The more you put into it, the less results you're getting. So for me, and I know you can't do anything about this, the school board's gonna hate me, but it's too bad, because the truth is the truth. If you are going to expect to get money and wanna get this, perform. You got your kids in a private Christian school. Why? Because you think they're gonna get a better education. There's where my issue lies. I don't care if the schools don't get as much money as they'd like. How about you perform, you provide what needs to be done. We're looking for results, and you know what? Hey, now let's come alongside them and give them what they want. But to just willy-nilly throw stuff out there, you got superintendents making $180,000 a year, and you got teachers making 30. Something's not right with that. Something's not right with that. And I don't care who it makes mad. You tell me how that works. I'd line this whole place with superintendents and say, you explain to me how your job is more important than the one actually teaching.
You're
You
preaching
can't.
to the choir here.
Well, no, and that's why for me, and I understand what you're saying, Rick, as far as that, but I think you'd be hard pressed to win a lawsuit against somebody for implementing something, a state law.
Well, but the costs could cost a lot.
Well, the cost for the IT stuff, I get, that's a lot of money, and I think that's ridiculous too.
Defending yourself in a lawsuit could bankrupt you, even if you had.
Here's a question,
That's
cause
the problem.
I know with that HB, that the bill, it can be done circumventing the commission by getting a petition
Yes.
from the people.
Yes.
That's correct.
Does it still leave you guys open to getting sued by the states? Is at that point, your hands are literally forced, you have to do it, you don't have a choice.
They're not gonna get
But I
sued by
mean,
the state,
it's
they're gonna
choice.
get sued
Or by
by
the
the
school.
school district.
But-
Most
but-
likely.
but-
That's your biggest tax burden by
Yeah.
far.
But at that
That's,
point,
that's where all your money goes.
but at that point,
It was done, it'd be like
you
the
didn't have a
school.
choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to do it by law you have to do this. So what does the school sue you for? Because you didn't have a choice, you couldn't not do it.
That's
If you didn't do it, you break the law.
That's what's not been decided legally. If you read 756 clearly, it's, in my mind, if I put my legal hat on, they can freeze anything.
Mhm.
But it's really not specifically clear about that.
Can do,
Because it doesn't address the issue that they only have 2 levies that they have any legal authority over. So what gives them the right to go after these other levies?
The people,
That's the question.
but the people.
And that's just
Then you
not
gotta have a
settled.
vote to see how that'd work, and that takes.
That, I mean, this,
Well, if
this is
the-
my
if the-
legal
if the-
hat, is if
the
the
people
people
bring it,
force you guys to
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And
We
it
can
goes
never
before
get
it.
rid of it.
No, that just means they have to do it.
If
It's
the-
still up to the commissioners.
No,
as to
No,
how they do
no,
it.
it's not.
But
No,
if
it's
it's in a
not.
petition,
Once
they
they
have to
take a vote, if the
No,
the
no,
people
you're
come up.
misunderstanding what I'm saying. They have to implement that.
Right.
They're free, if you read the statute, they're free to decide how that happens.
Correct.
But
That's
even
where
through
the
the
problem is, it's not
petition.
specific enough of what their,
But I believe through the
Boundaries are
petition,
what they
you
can
can,
do.
you can state how you want it to happen.
And I thought
And
seven
then hang on,
56
if
closed
that
the
happens-
loopholes. I thought, my understanding was 756 closed the loopholes, and basically it was everybody, all of your tax entities get froze, all of them. Not, because the issue was you had people that were doing like what you were saying. They wanted to not freeze the school, or they wanted to not freeze this or that, and everybody was up in arms about it. 756 came out to alleviate that, and they said, this is what it is, it's everything across the board.
well, part of 756 was that they corrected from 190 was they put an age on it.
But I think they also.
They put an age on
They
it, like a
also-
limit or?
They didn't have an age on it.
I will tell you, the guy that wrote it, the senator, he was a young kid. And I went up to a thing in Marshall with him, and I had brought up before Dennis Gall or something like that. He goes around Missouri, and he educates, like it's a town hall type thing, kind of like. And he laid everything, I mean, literally lays it out. He has come alongside commissioners to show them This is how you
Mark,
do
you
it.
didn't talk to Dennis and them about going out to
And this
Civic
is how you
Center?
stay up
I
right.
talked to him last night, we were,
So-
somebody called us when I was here.
Well, they said it hasn't been done.
I'll come up here a little.
I'll get it taken care of
Since
as
we're
soon as I
gonna
leave
have
here.
Huh?
I'll get,
my
as soon as I
conversation,
leave here.
that's what I told the
All right.
commissioners
You
after I
have
did
time?
my research to
They're wanting
prepare
it
for
done.
Yeah.
my
I mean, that's
presentation
big.
to seniors.
Yeah, I gotta set it up
There are a lot
for
of
tomorrow
seniors
anyways.
that have
Okay.
Because
questions
I
about
got
this,
it
a lot of
tomorrow.
crazy
Are you gonna
ideas
get
about
him,
what it
shall we
was.
have him come over?
I'll call.
They thought they were gonna pay any taxes.
Yeah, I texted him last night.
Just that was a big problem, getting them to understand that this just freezes the number
Right,
that your taxes will be based on, you're still paying property
yeah,
taxes.
yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people thought they were gonna be alleviated from any tax
I'd like to see
liability at all.
Missouri get rid of all of that tax.
I told them that my reading of that law was that they should, as you're saying, they could freeze it all. Their concern was they have had in
Hey,
the
Dennis,
past no
this-
jurisdiction over all
Hey,
those other
y'all didn't
things.
go over like Civic Center.
And the statute,
Last night, this morning.
my interpretation of it
Dennis,
was
or
they
Mark, I even talked
could
to you
do that,
last night.
but there's gonna be plenty of
Anyway,
people
we
that are gonna
did
say you
this.
can't do that. And then you get the lawsuits, and even
Okay,
if
thank you.
the school district lost, for example,
We're headed over
the
now.
amount of money spent
I
on
think he remembered.
defending the commissioner's position could be substantial. And that's something to consider. That's why a lot of things get settled out of court, because they don't wanna go through all of that expense.
Well, that's where I think the petition, and
Yeah,
then
the
if
petition
the
takes it out of our
petition's done,
hands.
because then a judge, I mean, unless they're a leaning commie judge, they're gonna look at it and say, well, the people
There's
forced
plenty
it.
of them.
That might be a good question for either
Yeah.
Travis to.
The petition statute, part of that
see where-
statute,
I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
you,
doesn't
the
address
thing-
what you're
the
talking
thing we
about,
need to
but
find
to
out
say they can,
Is just like Eric.
vote to have that
You have
implemented.
freeze in
Right.
all
It
the
doesn't
chips.
say that they can
Everything's
add on
frozen
all
at
these
that
other
particular-
stipulations.
But
Like,
you can
again, it's
put-
too vague.
But you can put in your
That's gonna
petition.
be
You could try it.
County,
Nice.
and
I'm just-
then when that's presented before the
Matt.
judge, and the judge says,
People are
hey,
looking
listen,
for saying this.
He could rule either way.
7,000 people in your
Remember me telling you
want this.
Well,
about
that doesn't
the
matter, it's what the
county?
law says.
Oh.
According to him.
County.
It's his interpretation.
Okay.
Right, but when you
And
have.
I'm just saying, it's
I-
vague
I-
enough, it doesn't matter if the whole
But that's
town
all.
wants it.
For me,
That's
I
only if
always
you
wanna
get
be
a
careful
left-leaning
when I say I
common judge,
represent
if you get
the
a
county.
decent judge that actually understands the
Because the
law.
county
Well,
is us sitting here.
the law is
every day.
poorly written.
That's
It
not
is.
Even
who I
this
represent.
revision,
No,
this
you're-
seven
It is,
fifty-six,
whatever,
is
it's
not,
poorly written, you
not-
can't just give up and
not
tell
good.
the R.
Yeah.
You have to
That
find
is
a
the
workaround to
county.
convince
Yeah.
the
I
judge.
remember
And my
that.
attitude is
So-
that if they're gonna try to help the seniors, they ought to use what they already have in place through the circuit breaker
Matt.
and fix that one.
Represents
I don't like that either, but
Think about
Ah,
how things
yeah.
are fixed for the better.
any government, I don't care who it is, whether they're doing
Well,
it
they've got bills
intentionally,
right now.
or they're
There's
doing
House Bill, I
it,
think it's
they
2050.
don't,
that's upping the
are
cap
not
to
trying to do
48,000 for
disservice,
marathon
whatever.
joint.
Because I firmly believe they're
So
not,
trying to pass it, I'm saying.
but it's no different
No,
than us.
it's not even been reviewed yet.
We wanna
That's
bring
what
as
I'm
much
saying.
money into this
Typically,
county
they just start
to be able to
They
do
also
what
are gonna
we
index
wanna
it to
do.
inflation.
I got a
They're gonna
different
up the
viewpoint.
cap on the refund
I wanna
amount
leave money out
from
there,
1,100 to
because
1,500.
my idea
Um,
is,
And they're gonna
let
change
the
the
people keep more of their money, they're gonna spend more of
chart.
their money.
So see, I
That's
fall
ca-
out of it.
that's
I
true
live on social
capitalism.
security, that's it.
Mhm.
And I
When
fall out of it.
we
because Social
start
Security-
worrying about
And
money,
they didn't adjust the
what
chart.
you've got to do is you've got to
Because if you look at that
understand
chart,
it's
the
our
bottom right-hand
responsibility
corner of it
to work within the bounds
is
of
all
the money
zeros.
that we get. And if there
So they're
are
gonna
issues
increase the,
that people
the
don't
amount,
like, or that people,
uh,
well, we
of the
want
jumps.
this, we want this,
I
and
think
we
it's
want
at 300
this.
now.
You don't walk into Walmart and walk
450
out of whatever
before you
you
move
want. You pay for
up again.
that most
So they're trying to
dreaded
address
word,
all those
tax.
issues. Some of the other bills that are
If
trying to deal
you
with, not
want
only address
something
certain
above and
problems, but
beyond,
that
then you're
House
gonna
Bill
pay.
2050
It's
is
reality.
trying to get them all.
I mean, for me,
Yeah,
if it
my
was up to
attitude is,
me
I don't
and I
like any
was
of that.
governor,
Think they
I don't even know if they can do it.
You
We
know,
would not
assess
pay, there would
the
be no
value of the
income
house to
tax
use
for the
for
state of
assessment.
Missouri. We
Pay
could
for
pull
it.
it off. Florida does it.
And
Why can't
it doesn't
Missouri?
matter about inflation.
I mean, what do they
But
have
they're not
that
gonna
we
do
don't?
that, so I I think they
So,
should use the circuit breaker program and not
it's,
756.
I
If you
get
could throw
it,
that one
and
out.
I don't harbor any ill will towards anybody that thinks different than but that is
I
the
know.
way this government was originally intended and set up.
I don't know why
Somewhere
they,
along the line,
in 2008,
we
when they started
decided
that
that
circuit
we knew
breaker,
better
why
than our
they
founding fathers,
put the income cap
and we're doing the
As a
exact
hard
same
number.
thing
unindexed.
for the reason
inflation.
we fought
What's
for
that
the
about? That was stupid.
Exactly. When you buy a home and you're paying taxes on it year after year after year after year, and you've already paid for it, how does that work? I mean, I get it, it's the day and age
If
we
you
live
want to
in, but
address
it
the
should have never gotten to that
socialist
point.
issue that your dad
So
brought
it's like
up, you
anything
remove
else,
the
if
age
it's
bracket
broke,
from the circuit
figure
breaker.
out a way to fix it.
Then I
Obviously,
definitely wanna
Florida
go
did.
get rid of all
There's,
of them.
Tennessee, I think,
Last
is another one,
resale
that
value.
they don't pay
I
taxes.
can't remember what
That
happened.
would be, that's
I
all
mean,
we
there's a
number,
few
it's
of them.
not some
Arkansas.
appraisal number, it's what it
So,
actually
yeah,
sold
and
for.
Arkansas is not a rich
That's
county,
what
but
it's
you live
valued at, and
within,
the only increase
know,
to that in my mind would be if
you
you access the
bring in
equity
so much money,
over
for
the
your
years, you
family.
know, you buy it for
so
20,
you
now it's worth
live
100, so
within
you
the means of what you
borrow
bring
20
in.
against that,
Government
buy a
doesn't
boat or
understand
something,
that.
and then now
They
your house is
don't,
$40,000.
and it doesn't matter if it's county or
That's
state,
the only
it's federal.
increasing that.
And nobody will, cause I can tell you that too, and I never, like I said, you know,
Well, they did it in California, see, California's not all
I
bad.
can cut our budget.
They do some really weird, good things from time to time.
Limitations,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Missouri needs to
You
learn
can-
that.
There's
I was
ways
surprised to
to
find
get
out they
around
don't
it. The
report
state
sale,
is
house sale values
Cause
to
I think I
Scott.
told you, Rick, when you.
He's just out there blowing in the wind trying to assess these things.
3%, our budget, that's 3% or go 3%. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. I do.
Well, and that's created the
Because,
problem they
yeah,
have now,
and
the
this
water
is
Senate
my
Bill
reason
190
why.
has some traction.
Let's just say,
For
I'm
some
gonna use
people,
one for
there's gonna be a
example.
big tax reduction for them, but
Let's say
most
his
people are
department
grossly
is,
underassessed. And
underfunded,
they're trying to fix
or
all
it
of that, so all of a
is, you know,
sudden their
there's
value
certain things that
is
he
gonna go
could
way
do
up in their taxes.
to
It's
make
technically
his
gonna go way up.
department better.
So they've been
And
scared.
it, and it's
for
gonna,
years.
it's gonna make it, you know, like, he's gonna be, people are gonna go, oh man, that Henry County management, they are top of the line, okay?
No, no government should.
I would do it just like I did my business.
They put it this way, no group.
I'd go to Scott.
At some point
and I-
cannot be your friend.
People,
You know, it's
you know,
groups of
you
people.
take this department, you take this department, you take this department, you go, you know what, this year, I'm gonna cut your budget, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna give Mark 1 year. Say we give him an extra 30,000, I'm just picking numbers out of thin air. Mark, here's the deal, you got 1 year, get that up to snuff and make it work, because the following year, you're not gonna get that. And you do that throughout your whole, all of it. You would solve every issue with any department in this, you know, county or anybody else's county, because apparently this is the law. You would solve all those issues.
My
Because
property taxes
then, now
are
you're
probably
starting
going down
fresh,
for
everybody's at the top of the
this
game,
year.
because it doesn't matter.
They went down.
I don't know for a
40
fact,
cents
but I'd be willing to bet
last year.
we've got departments that
So
are not
this
as
190
good
is
as
this,
they could be.
I wouldn't wanna take it.
I'm just, I
because
mean,
would
it's,
be losing
it's.
money doing
Yeah,
it.
it's how it is.
But
Go to
mine's
Plains
going
County, it's the
down.
same thing, you go back to any of them, it's the same thing. But the state did us a
But that's for next year.
disservice because they won't allow you to
That
do
current year I
that,
would be screwed,
because it's the same reason.
but it would self-adjust.
Bill, every year,
Under the statute,
everybody's
it'd
budget
self-adjust
kinda goes up a little bit.
next year.
So all we're doing is we're adding fuel to
It's
the
just,
fire. You
it's just a
are
bad way to.
essentially just
Primarily it's
making
for seniors,
government
not,
bigger.
I know.
Well, the only, you know,
It's
as I
not-
explained earlier during the budget process, the
It's
vast
just not the
majority
best
of
way to do
increases
it.
in our budget were employee related.
And the way I
Healthcare
suggested
costs,
would
work
be
comp
for
costs,
everybody anyway.
raises.
It's just,
um,
and would you be using hard numbers?
The other
I'm
difference
guessing
is just
nothing.
inflationary costs go up. You want to
Right
buy a
now,
car,
if
it's
I
gonna
go
cost
to
more this year than last year. Fuel
Realtor.com, my
prices,
house is listed
Hopefully,
at
you will see a
168,000.
decrease in fuel prices, but it's
I go to
all
Zillow.
inflationary and it's out of our control. If you cut 2%, but
$427,000.
inflation is
What in the
2%,
world is Zillow
you need the
doing?
same budget just to stay even.
I can't get.
But
rid
just
of
like
money
sheriff's
for where I
budget.
live.
There's a prime example.
So, you know, I think that the budget requests that we received, are very conservative. They're just mainly, employee related increases. Nobody's buying the best vehicle to operate off of. We have software upgrades we have to make,
Right.
We have maintenance agreements with the software companies that we have to pay to maintain the software that we purchased. I don't see any excessive
where do you get the
spend
money
to,
to increase it?
Right.
If-
Well,
if-
see, that's the thing,
everything's
it's a bigger picture,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
The
It's a
bigger
bigger
picture, just like
If you bring, if we bring in, businesses, okay? If you bring in businesses, and we'll get rid of this fly ash and all that other kind of crap that's going on around there.
They're pretty loud.
People come, they move, your tax rate goes
I
up.
hate to be on the camera either.
What's our population, how much is the
That's the only
population?
objection I
here in
have to
county?
streaming this stuff.
So you get- and it hasn't changed.
Side
And that's what, there we go, there, you made my point, it hasn't changed. And there's a reason why it hasn't changed. People are not gonna come to an area unless there's something either they can make a really good living, or there is something that's gonna attract them. And for us, with a lake, that's a weekend attraction. Or it's somebody, Jim, you're my age, coming down here to retire. That's not how you attract and grow a business. But when you do that, you increase the amount of money you got coming in. So, I mean, I totally get what you're saying, but it's actually a bigger picture.
What's
Because
the average
then you
age
gotta-
of Henry County?
Somewhere between 60 and 65.
That's
It's a
right.
retirement
That's the average
community.
age of everybody in Henry County.
Yeah.
If you look at that, it's a retirement community.
Exactly.
That- And retirement communities, you have fixed income.
But that's what I'm saying, don't get me wrong, I'm old.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I
what
don't
I'm
have a problem with
talking
retirement
Yeah.
communities. But retirement communities die. It's no different than a church. If everybody that goes to your church is our age, Jim, and there's no young people in it, how long do you think that's gonna last? It's, I mean,
But that's like businesses. You know where the young people stay in Clinton? You're not. Now, if you don't get them paid their pay grade up to where the rest of the world is,
That's
then you're in
why
trouble.
they-
Now, the trouble is all the older people, oh my gosh, it's way too high a bill. I can't pay that. Now, what do? That's the next thing. Cause that's your majority that you're looking at. That's an average. It's not younger people that's making a lot of money to be able to spend it. It's older people that are on fixed income. And that's where the hang-up comes. But just like Clinton, one of the things there, I feel like it needs to be look ahead to what you can do to try to build it, just like right now. Everything you're doing, just like, Mark Dawson, a lot of stuff, he's trying to bring companies into Clinton to work, hire people and pay good salaries. And that's what, and in order to do that, there's certain things he has to have. And that's the reason why some of the stuff he does. So, don't know the answer to it, I'm just talking, but that's some of the problems we have in Henry County. Because first off, you can't charge as much because it is a retirement community. So therefore, you gotta find people, young people that's aiming to work for less money. And just like us, then when we do that, you lose the people in your commission, different places, everywhere you go. You can't hire people just like Mark, you couldn't go out and hire somebody for a lot less money. Well, he can do the job. Well, no, then you're getting in the same thing what you're wanting them to stop doing.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the stuff to move ahead, but still, yeah, what does that bring in? And you got to have it where it's coming back somewhere to get more money in. Cause that's the big thing is, they gotta spend money, and you want people in Clinton to spend money. But then, if some of these businesses that go in, all of a sudden they go out too. That's the problems, and I've seen that. I don't know the answer to it, that's just me, my insight and stuff I'm looking at, just like the roads, major cost. And a lot of the towns are trying to go ahead and take care of some of it. But just like MoDOT, they have the same problems.
MoDOT's kind of somewhat put themselves in a position.
That's right.
Their own, they did it to themselves
Yeah.
a lot.
Well,
I mean,
there,
I never worked for them, nothing against you.
but one of the
But
things,
I mean,
I got
I mean,
plenty
I'm
against
just-
it.
when I drive by a MoDOT thing, and I see 6 guys standing there.
Yeah,
You got
wow.
one guy working,
yeah,
trust me, I own a business. The one guy would keep his job and the rest would be gone down the road.
that's right.
But I also know in order, they've got, it's like, just like I said, in order to keep it, you gotta spend it, and then so maybe they'll give you a little more. Well, the MoDOT did that long enough to where now they don't have any, so.
Anyway, that's just some things that I've seen, just like Aaron, and you got a plan, just like the city, the bypass, that was a bypass back then. Well, the city grew out that way, now where are you gonna go?
I have a question, since actually we're a little ways off topic, but when you drive into Clinton, I guess I've been wondering this for a while. Like you said, we're trying to attract people, we're trying to attract businesses and everything else. Why do we have a dump right at the edge of town? In a flood zone area, I guess, maybe,
Talking about
somebody
the,
answer me
the old
that.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah, with brick walls, and if a kid walks up there and they land on him, I don't know who owns it, don't know anything about it, but it seems to me if that brick wall falls and one of those kids playing around there, somebody's gonna be in deep trouble.
I
The
think
city of
talks about
Clinton
that
is
all the
actually
time.
fighting that right now. I don't know for sure,
Well,
but
who owns it? I mean,
Gary Scott.
Gary Scott,
well, if you're fighting it, I mean, if you're dumping there, first off, and it's in a floodplain, did you get a permit? Secondly, did you get a permit to have a dump? And third, who in their right mind puts a dump right where you come into a city?
Clinton.
it's kinda like the school.
I mean,
No, they talk about that at Public Works, right?
Yeah.
but that, see, that, I guess maybe that's my issue. I'm so tired of hearing people talk. How about somebody stepping up and doing something? This talk is getting, I mean, you can't tell me they can't do something about that.
They're in a battle with them, trying to get in to clean it up. I don't know the exact details.
Why don't they clean it up yourself and bill
the
it?
inside of that, but they.
Clean it up yourself and bill it. Simple as that. I don't know the man from Adam, but obviously he's got a whole lot of power. Because if he's bucking Clinton in the hole, I mean, seriously. I mean, I get it. Hey, I'd love to be able to do what I'd wanna do, but I'm pretty sure even if I owned that, I wouldn't put a dump out there. I would be wondering,
They put some walls up and use it for storage, but I wouldn't leave it like
yeah.
that.
So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff. We're not, and this is kind of rant, and I'm sorry, but it's kind of like, how are we gonna get anything to happen in Clinton when we can't control what we got going here to get started, to get going? It's probably Scott's fault.
Yeah.
Don't say today is mine, go ahead.
No, we need change in the guard, just like at the federal level.
I mean, that's
Fresh
silly.
ideas, different perspectives,
Do what?
I went up to look for Snickers.
Do what?
less entrenched self-interests. Not necessarily that they're evil, but they're just entrenched, they've been here forever. And
It's upsetting those things.
that's the way it is. And so they're all gone and new people come in.
Yep.
And they have to come in numbers, you get one person in, it's X number of votes, city council, for example, if you're just one, well, it's 6 to 1. Or 8 to 1, I guess.
Well, yeah,
So
I
you're
mean,
not gonna
city
get
council,
one
that's a
person. You gotta
voting
get
position,
6
isn't
or
it?
5 or 6 people.
Yeah, it's voted.
It's a voter, so what's
Yep.
wrong with the people putting the same stuff back in? I mean, is everybody happy with it?
Yeah, you probably run into people not wanting to run.
I think it's a problem of the electorate not voting.
So,
And that allows the
what
interest-
everybody wants to bitch, but nobody wants to do anything about it.
Well, yeah, that,
I mean, let's call it what it is.
I hear the bitching all the time.
Why
I
are you
try to
bitching all the
explain
time,
to them
but
complicated.
years ago, they signed
I
a,
agree with them, but
Yeah.
trying to get
they signed a tax abatement deal with them, so
I don't know how that, they have a certain amount of time to do stuff.
I think that's over now.
I don't know.
The city did?
How were they able to get in there when that's a floodplain? How do you put a dump someplace like that?
What plane, man, you're not at
So I
it.
know when holiday.
City.
I mean, I know, you weren't there, but I mean, seriously,
But
how
the city of
how do
Clinton
they
has their own
decide how to
floodplain
clean it?
manager though, so,
The city has their own flood?
yeah, I don't, yeah,
So,
No, is it
Chuck
Chuck?
Bailey.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not go there, that's a,
I guess, Manuel's the end guy.
yeah.
well, I opened a can of worms, didn't I?
Chuck was there this morning, dealing with some,
Do you need a copy?
condemned housing, just trying to
Yeah, if I get one.
get that torn
We haven't got
down.
another one in yet.
They've got asbestos issues, they gotta put out an RFP for asbestos abatement now.
But as soon as we get.
Yeah, just text it to me.
There's so much bureaucracy.
This sounds like the mayor of Los Angeles.
How'd
that turn out?
I don't know if I would attempt to understand city government.
There should be a lot of bureaucracy.
That sounds awful.
Some of it's their own making, some of it's state level. That's the stuff you can't do much about, not very easily. It's just like getting rid of the township from the government, that was sure probably a great thing, but you really can't get Clinton Township, the city. To do it because they are advantaged financially.
You're beating me to the question, so you just go for it.
Anything else?
Huh?
Do you have anything else?
Unless you wanna talk about Charlie's Road. if y'all-
No, I'm still looking into that. We've got enough on the plate so far.
Okay. Townships there.
And I've talked to Charlie and Scott, and
Raise their levies up.
they're okay with a little bit more.
Come to the county looking for stuff.
I'm seeing that, and another chunk was, Red Fox. We haven't heard back how ship is now, so I talked to him, he may be aware. We need to get that figured out.
Yeah, I actually drove by it.
Yeah, but I wanna know
It's
what
always
the
this smooth.
easements are.
Yeah.
That'll give us more answer or what we can do, and what we can't do.
Handouts.
Well, what I saw in the house, it did that.
Yeah.
The house and all that.
But the others are
It's a mess.
The others-
But honestly, what's like along the roads and all that.
Which would be ours.
I've seen a whole lot of him. I mean, I've seen a whole lot.
I'd already, we'd already decided.
Yeah, it cuts-
And everything.
And I wrote it as a place that you can't have anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
now
he's
that's,
asking
that needs to be
At
down.
night, but it wasn't last night.
Well, yeah,
I understand.
But then I don't want them coming.
You can't just go in there and just. In fact, in that city limits there,
County spreads it
I
out.
think you're.
I'm not sure what the city
Yeah,
limits are very
It
good.
might have only been 350.
I'm not sure what the city limits
I
are.
thought in that Red Fox
Yeah,
Marina,
that's too bad.
in the city limits over there, at Uri,
If you're too small.
does it take in Red Fox?
Or the bigger.
Does it?
No.
Okay, like, it's not out.
I don't even think it's north of 7, is it?
What, Red Fox?
No, the
City
city
limits.
limits. Is it north of 7?
I think there's one little area that
Oh,
goes
it's-
north, right there at the junction, but, and then it's the roads all the way out.
Where the sale or the Modoc Barn used to be?
But then like I said, it goes out 7 about a mile each way.
Oh, right, yeah, just the highway.
I was saying, yeah, just a sliver up through there, because didn't we get into it with that one lady, going up the road and come by the other state highway, and they wanted to close the road. Tell that out, they could only close half of it.
And I don't want to get into other things,
People
but
up there.
Oh, yeah.
solar and fly
Got tickled
ash,
once, I said, well.
I would almost rather have either one of those than that place next to my house. It's horrible,
Yeah,
and there's not, and again, what can you do? Nothing.
Return contact from, Merck and SEMA, no funding available.
okay.
Yeah, the LAPC can't use their money either to help with testing costs.
No,
I
that's
think
probably.
whoever needs to cast a pretty wide net and see just how far it all goes.
Let's not go to the EPA.
Well, even when you're testing, we need to test further out than what the samples are we got now.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, you should test north side.
There's city limits here.
I mean, I think you should first start
Here.
a circle 10 miles out, and then if you get anything there, then go another 5.
Just, yeah,
I mean,
right
when you
in.
go out as far until you drop down below the
So
appropriate
they're out of
speed.
city limits.
In multiple
Then it
places.
falls
Not
into
just
the
one.
township.
Yeah.
I mean, all, a circle. You gotta follow the
Those
tree.
big
And I
things
think-
getting us. I thought,
And I told somebody this last night.
hold up, let's check.
If you're gonna go out there and test, and if you're afraid that this stuff is leaching in, then I get a couple of probes and drop them into the sediment in the bottom of that Montrose Lake. They don't want you to do that. Cause
It's a big holding pond.
old boy that said he backed his dump truck up there and dumped it
Oh,
straight into the
Oh,
lake.
yeah, he said that. Yeah. Oh, man.
Now, that's a guy, how he
You didn't
handles
hear
it.
that? He was
He
an
was
ash
just doing
hauler,
what
and
he said he was
he
told
said
to
that
do.
he himself backed up to that lake and just opened it up and
Dumped
dumped
it.
it in the lake.
I think Jim and I are the only ones old enough. Love Canal.
Do what?
You know Love Canal and New York?
That's a whole different deal.
In Europe? Oh,
Talking about industrial waste being dumped directly into the public water system, completely untreated. It was way back in the 60s and 70s. It was big. I mean, they had cancers and birth defects, you name it. Of course, Lake Erie was dead for a while, didn't have any fish in it.
I know they're pulling fish out of Montrose Lake.
Scott,
That are discolored.
Well, it's discolored, they got big tumors and stuff on them and
Didn't you
everything else, so.
the road,
Something's
with
going on.
easements on the roads, on the
That
maps.
stuff.
Every time I get in.
There's the alternatives.
I need to know what this.
So how do we get it?
This is
So,
1101.
wind, nuclear,
What's the easement on?
they all have their problems.
Oh, that's where. I was in, I thought the right place.
Frankly, I'm glad that they shut it down just.
Easement.
That's what you click on. You gotta make it, put it, check it.
Holy
There you
gee,
go.
right away.
Now you took it off again.
I want easement.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there, right, and then, all I gotta do is.
If we go
be
nuclear,
there.
you still got the waste to deal with, where are you gonna put that?
Let's see.
Cause it's forever.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
It's just straight
Well,
up.
Jay,
Just
real
that.
quick, before you do,
You better make it fast.
waiting on IT for the office downstairs, so we'll be down there.
Okay?
Mass communications is set up and ready to go. We're working on SOPs, I'm gonna try to meet with Sheriff Brown to get that, we'll get that over the communications where we can start doing mass communications. Everbridge is giving us this year free,
40
It's
feet.
what?
giving us this year free.
Is that
On
the,
13,
Mass
1101.
Yeah, we're not paying for this.
Okay, yeah,
free.
it is,
It is,
40 feet, okay,
sounds great.
just so you know, it's 40 feet wide,
it is smart.
that's what your easement is on that road. It's not 50, but 40.
Further by, Red Rocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said, right up, and it's right over.
Since you all called on me. I wanted to-
Thank you, Scott.
What I wanted to say.
It's more of a speak up kind of thing.
So
today,
from
it
the
seems
middle
like.
of the road is for.
It's
From the
20
middle.
feet on each side of the, in the middle.
That makes
So
this.
Get,
20
measure the
total,
road,
40
width,
total.
40 foot
Go to
wide,
middle.
20 feet side to
and
side.
it's 20 feet on each side of that. So you don't have.
Generally,
Unless there's a fence.
That don't give you much.
Doesn't matter.
My understanding is there's a fence there.
There's all the mining tailings.
They don't have to move the fence until they take it down.
But the easement is what the easement is.
Right, okay, okay,
I mean, that doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Now, who takes care of it? A lot of times we mow right up to the fence.
Right.
Even if it's 29 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
right.
But, yeah, it's, I mean, it's pretty standard,
There's a lot of money involved.
depending on what age,
And there's-
what age the road
The
is.
road is.
you know,
We have to do that, when you tap on that, we gotta do the right of way too, don't
there's a
to
lot
get
of
it to
jobs.
show up.
So
Well, because there's some easements and some of them are right of
we?
ways.
That's right, they are.
take it
Some
out there.
of them's deeded land.
Correct.
That's where it comes out. Didn't know that until you go down there and get in some of this crap.
But
Find
either
out some
way,
of it's
whether
deeded.
it's an easement or deeded land, we went ahead and took it out. If it's,
Yeah.
if they can't use it or potentially can't use it, they're not paying taxes on it. Cause that's not good. Yeah, this is the county's ditches and stuff, but
Yeah.
they can't pay taxes on it. That doesn't go over very well. It did for years, but it doesn't now.
So can I get my ditches removed from?
But that road doesn't look that wide either.
You live in the city just like I do.
I got 2 minutes to drink it.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded during the meeting, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're gone.
Sorry, guys.
Jason,
Bathroom break. Bathroom break.
Oh, yeah.
good luck on your